When I was elected, I was very young, at the age of 29, and as usual, people have the mind that young people are not able or lack some capacity or ability to be members of parliament. So their perception was a big problem. So you had to prove to your colleagues in parliament and to the public that age or youthfulness doesn't hinder somebody to have ideas and a vision for the country and for the constituency and for parliament in particular. So the biggest challenge was the perception, and which I'm sure that I managed to erase the negative perception in a very short time. But also, as I said before, I was elected straight from school. So there was the whole issue of knowing the system, how does the system work, and how to make sure that when you have an idea to make it happen. So it took some time to understand the system, which I'm sure was different from other people who have been working in the system for so long. So that was also another challenge. And the last one in constituencies, we have MPs from Africa, and people expect a lot of things from you. Some of the things are very personal, and you wouldn't expect that to happen. Somebody coming to your house in the morning asking for very personal issues, like just money to eat. So reconnection with people and understanding their issues was also another problem and the biggest challenge that I faced. First of all, I don't believe that we should elect our leaders on age basis. My point is the parliament must represent the generation and the country. And in Tanzania, more than 70% of Tanzanians are below the age of 29. And currently there is no single MP who is below 29. More than 80% are between the age of 18 and 40. So since Parliament is a mirror of the country, you should see representation in Parliament. But currently you have the army of young people, but you don't see them in Parliament. There are very few of them in Parliament. And since elders dominate politics, they define who should be the leader in terms of age. So that's why when young people speak in Parliament about the importance of having more young MPs in Parliament, elders come up in defense, but they forget that most of them, when we got independence, they are very young, and they went into Parliament at a very young age, and they completely forget this, So and they have reached their limit, you see, and they have to give a chance to younger generation, and them step aside as advisors, But so this thing is not really understandable. I'm not saying that we should throw away all elders in Parliament, from Parliament. No. What I'm saying is there should be a balance. There should be a way that a country will be assured of the generational shift of power, transfer of power. But currently, if you continue to have more elders in Parliament and as ministers and so on, it will come a time when young people elect their fellow young person without any experience, not knowing the history of the country, not knowing how to handle the challenges of the country. So that's why I say these two generations, the younger generation and elder generation, should work together to ensure that there is a smooth transfer of power from one generation to the other. I inherited a very backward constituency. We had no single tarmac road. A majority of villages had no clean and safe water. A number of villages had no dispensary for health services. Women were delivering on the floor. Health centers didn't even have mattresses for women to sleep on. And there was no vision on where our constituency is heading to. I changed that. As I'm speaking, we have built more than 100 kilometers of tarmac road in my constituency. 2 roads, very important roads, one connecting my constituency and Burundi, neighboring country, and another one connecting my constituency and another constituency in Kigoma and Tabora region. Very important roads, more than 100 kilometers built in 5 years' time. And Kigoma had only 6 kilometers of tarmac road since independence. And in 5 years' time, we built more than 100 kilometers because we are continuing to build. And this is the biggest achievement for me because infrastructure is a very important ingredient for development of my people. I was in one of the villages called Bitale, on which the road passed through. Before the road, the fare, Daladala fare from Kigoma Urban to Bitale was 2,000 shillings. Currently, because of the tarmac road, it's only 300 shillings. So you can see how the living expenses have gone down because of the road. In 5 years' time, I had 10 villages connected to water supply. Just recently, the president went to launch a water project in one of my villages called Mahembe, whereby the project covers 4 villages and another 6 villages are covered by the World Bank project for rural water supply. We have built a port in one of the village called Kagunga. That is the village is a border between Tanzania and Burundi, and we want to make sure that border is blossom in trade, like the way Tantunduma is, like the way Namanga is. And even today in Parliament I spoke about that because we need electricity to electrify that area so that there will be faster development, and the government has promised to do that. When I was elected, there was a huge problem of young people who were going to secondary school, but their parents had no money, had no economic ability to pay for their school fees. So I established a scheme, an education scheme, whereby I was cutting 30% of my salary to pay for the school fees of the kids who are able to go to school, but their parents cannot finance them. And up to now, 312 young people benefited from this scheme in my 5 years of parliament. And these are the ones who are going to be members of parliament for the future in my constituency. And if there is one thing that I'm so proud of, is that I have been able to give education to people who wouldn't have that just because their parents are not able to educate them. That was my wish and is still my wish. I did not want to be a career politician. I wanted to serve for 5 years and go to my beloved job. I like teaching, writing and doing research, academic research and publishing. And since 2006, I announced in September 2006 that I'm not going to run. I'll only serve for 1 term. There was no reaction then, maybe because I was not yet very popular as a member of parliament or as a politician. In 2007, in March, I was in Maswa. I repeated the same thing and I said, I'm not going to run again. And there was a little bit of some reaction from people. But When I said the same in 2008, it was different, and people started to have several conclusions that maybe he has been bought, maybe he's going to cross to CCM and things like that, you know, which are, all of them are really not facts, but our country is so famous for rumors and things like that. But I had, and I don't like this, that people came to ask me to run, because when I was running, I decided on my own that I want to be a member of parliament. I don't want to be, it's my freedom, but I forgot that once you're a leader, the decisions that you take are no longer your decisions. There should be public decisions, and that's what happened. And it is through the public pressure and the perception that people started to develop about me, and most of them negative perception, that made me say, okay, let me go for the second term. But I'm not sure if I'll be forced to go for a third one. But I would really like to serve and live and do other things. I don't want politics to be my career. Since I became a member of parliament, all surveys that have been conducted by either public institutions like the University of Dar es Salaam credit program, or by private institutions like the media and private companies like Stegman and Synovate, have shown that I'm the second most popular politician in Tanzania after the president. So that clearly shows that I can represent anybody, and it's not just being popular. It's a sign that in my work I was not only concentrating on my constituency, I was concentrating on issues of the national interest, to the extent that other Tanzanians in other constituencies would like to have a member of parliament like me. That's why I had requests from various parts of the country. And those that I mentioned, Kahama, Geita, Kigoma Urban, Kigoma North, and Kinondoni, are the area that I considered myself connected. For example, I've always been campaigning for opposition to have more MPs in parliament, because currently CCM has 86% of parliamentarians, which is not healthy for democracy. And you have a constituency, a region like Dar es Salaam, with 7 constituencies without a single opposition MP, and Dar es Salaam is the capital, commercial capital of this country. So for Dar es Salaam, I just wanted to end this dominance of CCM. That's why I chose Kinondoni for consideration in my list. Kahama and Geita is because these are the mining areas, and mining issues are the issue that raised me politically, that made me who I am today, that made me become a very popular and household name in Tanzania. So I wanted to do something for this area. So that's why I shortlisted Geita and Kahama as well. And Kigoma Urban, because I was raised in Kigoma Urban. I was born in Kigoma Rural. My parents were born in Kigoma Rural, but shifted to Kigoma Urban, and I thought maybe if I want to remain in Kigoma region, maybe I should run in Kigoma Urban, you know. So every single constituency had a reason why I shortlisted it. And lastly, I remained with only 2, Geita and Kigoma North. I really wanted to run in Geita. If it was a matter of my choice, it was Geita, because of the gold mine and my role in shaping and changing and reforming the mining regime in this country. So I wanted to have a gold mine in my constituency, so that I make sure all the changes, all the reforms that I have initiated and have been passed by Parliament are implemented, and I observe that implementation. So that's why I had Geita, and it was really very tough for me to choose between Geita and Kigoma North. But the people of Kigoma North prevailed, and I'm running in Kigoma North now.
Okay, best wishes.
Thank you.